Alright everybody, here we are again, and well, I was supposed to take half an hour. I took half an hour extra, so I came back live after an hour or something. But never mind, we'll continue from here on. The second part was remaining, the second part of the like notes. So we have to go through them, and then this TypeScript section will be done, and we'll be moving to something else or the other. Okay, it's gonna be like that. So without any further ado, let's simply go ahead. I hope I'm audible. Let's check the sound now. Well, yeah, I'm audible. So let's simply go ahead and get the things done. So the first thing was done. There's only one thing remaining, and that is the second part of it. And how many page? Okay, it is about 7 pages or something. So we'll be going through it. So prerequisites before you go through this module, make sure you've gone through the basic TypeScript classes. You understand interfaces, types, and how TypeScript is used in a simple Node.js application. So this is how it works. Got that? Created a user, given the name and age. Recap. To recap, if you want to start a TypeScript project locally, please do this done. Okay. Pick. Okay, the next one is something that pick we have. Pick, ultimately it picks the values. So this is something that we have already mentioned in here. So pick, this is the user from where we are actually picking the values, and these are the values, these are the fields that we are picking. As simple as that. So pick allows you to create new type by selecting a set of properties key from an existing type. That's right. Imagine you have a user model with several properties, but for a user profile display, you only need a subset of these properties. So ID, number, email, and category, and that's gonna be like user and email, name and email, and done. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. So this is going to be the definition of pick. So we had better just keep in mind this particular thing in here. Okay. Something like this. Okay, so pick allows you. Okay, this is interesting, but let me get it clearer in here. How can I make it happen? Something like this from here on. So pick allows you to create a new type by selecting a set of properties keys from an existing type. So this is merely the definition, and then the pick is just used below, as simple as that. So this thing is also done. I don't need to worry about pick. It works quite great. Like if I actually try to make it happen. So I have an interface. Okay, this is gonna be user interface, and that's gonna be like user updated pick user. Okay, it will have name, type string, it will have age, type number, it will have email, type string. Okay, there's many things suppose. And now enter. Okay, update rows, pick partial. We have these two things. Okay, so type is equal to updated, props is equal to, I am gonna be using pick in here, and of course generics is going to be used. And we have user, and from user I want name, and I want email. As simple as that. So these are the things that I'm actually getting. So if the type is concerned, so this is the type right now. We can even change it. So type optional, update props optional props, type is equal to optional props. So ultimately I will use partial for it, partial, and then the simple thing is I'll be providing just the user. So I will be getting the optional props, rather all the props are gonna be optional, or I can provide it updated props, then all the props inside of it are gonna be optional. So this is quite a good option. So optional props, something like that, this works really well. So we are done with the partial makes all properties of type optional, creating a type with the same properties but each marked as optional. That's interesting. So this is something that we learned in here too. So in here I have just mention this thing as well. So we have partial in here too. So where is that being used? It's being used in here. Let's keep that thing in mind too. Okay, something like this. Partial makes all the properties of a type optional, creating a type with the same properties but each marked as optional. As simple as that. So this thing is also done. Partial thing. We don't need to worry about this at all for now, at least. So we are using pick, we are using partial. Both the things are being done in here. Then we have read only, pretty simple, and we can even use that when you have a configuration object that should not be altered after initialization. Making it read only ensures its properties cannot be changed. This is something that we have. And read only, we'll have to give it the type like the interface, and that's it. It will be done. So the read only thing we have in here. So we are mainly doing nothing but to provide the configuration, or mainly the mainly that what that is type. So if I just create that, let's see, read only type is equal to let's see, I hope I'll be able to do that. Read only, this is something that we have, and we have to provide the updated process. Let's provide the user and see how it goes. Okay, so all the ones are read only. If I provide it updated props, all the props are gonna be read only, so it works the way I want it to work. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead. We are using user in here, we are using updated props, and this is how things are going on. Partials, all values are gonna be optional, so I can just get the user in here too, and I can get the user in here too to just get the things done. So I have updated props, I have optional props, I have read only props. This is how things have been going on, and ultimately each and everything is being used in here. So whatever, this is just gonna be mini example for me. Example, something like this, and I'm gonna paste those things in here. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead with the things. So read only is also done. Few of them are remaining. This is compile time checking, not a runtime, unlike const. Yeah, compile time checking, that's right. Record, what is the use of this thing? Record and map, they are key value pairs. So if we have key value pairs, so we can either use records or we can use maps to make the things better. So let's talk about that too. So when it comes to first way, like suppose we have key value pairs, so we have users, and the user contains keys and the values. So the key is going to be string and value is gonna be the user. As simple as that. Okay, users is equal to, that's gonna be the type. This is the first way to create the type. That's interesting. The user type is this. Okay, and there is a key. That key contains that key. The type of that key is a string, and the user value is assigned to that. As simple as that. So these are the keys that we have. Okay, once we have the keys, the type of this key is string, and then some value is assigned to them in the object format. Okay, then we have record, we have string in here, this is the key, and then we have the value that we are providing. So this is where record comes in. So let's get this thing done first of all. What we are doing in here, we have interface called user. We have user. Okay, user has just name and email. For example, for now it's gonna be like this much only. So name will be type of string, and it has email. It also like is type of a string. This thing is done. What's next? Next I have to create an object. Const, suppose users and something. It could be anything. Okay, let's see. Users, and that's gonna be type of users. Let's get this thing done. This is the id1, this is the id is equal to id1, and it will have a name, and then I'll figure out how can I give the type to this particular thing. Name is equal to name1, and one more time, just let's copy and paste this thing. This is gonna be id2, this is gonna be id2, and this is gonna be id2. Okay, these many things we actually have. The main question is that how can I give types to it? So when it comes to giving type to it, it could be an object that has the keys of string, and those keys contain the value, as simple as that. So ultimately, if I try to create the type of it, it would be like this, that there is a key, I can give it like this, id1 is type of object. So id1 is, there is an id inside id1, and then there is a type of string, and there is name, the type is again string. This is how I can just simply go ahead and I can simply copy and paste this thing to, this thing can also be copied and pasted. This is the first, this is the second that I've got, and this is how I can just keep creating, and this is right, it's not like this is wrong. The thing is that I'm having to repeat the code over and over, so I can even simplify it, and it could be like the key is going to be string, and that will have some kind of value that's gonna be user. Okay, so what is the problem with this? User does not have id field. Let's give it that. Id is going to be string. How about this? So this is how it would be going ahead. The best thing is that this, like, what exactly am I doing? I'm mentioning the keys, the type of the keys is going to be string, and I'm providing it the value. Of course, that is the type of the value, but it's being provided in here. So it's like that, and this is the one way. The another way could be to simply use record. So we will be using record, and the keys are gonna be string, and the value will be providing, that would be the user. The type will be providing is the user, something like that. So what exactly we are doing here? We are using record, and we are saying that the keys are gonna be type of string, and the type of the given value is gonna be user. There's this problem. Object return may only specify known properties, and id1 does not exist in type record string. I made a mistake, I think, in here. It should be string in here, like this. Okay, this is fine. So this is how it's actually going ahead. So there are actually two ways. This is the first way, quite easy busy, and the second way could be really simple, and that would be like this, in which there would be a key that would be type of string, and it would have the type user, as simple as that. So this is the first way, and the another was the another way, the second way. Once more, okay, it's gonna be done. So this thing is done, and as for the nodes that we have created, we have these two ways too, in a proper way. That's good. As for the map is concerned, we can create a new map, and that what is the use of a map? Record is done. When it comes to mapping the things, we can create a new map. The user is equal to new map string and user, and then I can set the value inside it. That's interesting. So what is the real use of map is something like this. This is the first way we can create the users. Okay, the second is that const users1 is equal to suppose, and that would be type of map. Okay, of course we'll have to create an instance of it. So map, and this would have the generics inside it. So generic means, first of all, the type of it gonna be the string, merely the key value pair. So the type of the key is going to be string, and the type of value is going to be user. So in map we have to provide a generic. The first value is gonna be the type of the key. The second part is going to be the type of the value, something like this. And once this thing is done, I can just simply set the value. So user dot set, I can provide the key. So key is gonna be id1. I can provide it the value, and the value is gonna be okay, id1. Key is done. As for the value, id is equal to id1, and name is equal to name1. By the way, there should be a comma in here if I'm not wrong. How about this? Well, it's still getting an error. Map. I think it's gonna be like that. Okay, so this is how we are actually providing it the value. So we have created a user instance of the map class, and then I'm simply setting the values. Once the values is set, I can just simply get the value. So it would be like user1 dot get, and what do we have to get? We have to just simply provide the key, and that key will be id number 1, something like that, and it will be done. So we have gone through this thing too. That's interesting. Exclude means you have to exclude Zod type info, means it simply provides the type of the Zod type of Zod schema just using the info. Exclude, simply exclude the value. So suppose we have this much, this is the type. If we want to exclude it also, it can easily be excluded. And as for the Zod type, so z.info and type of Zod schema, we can just simply provide the Zod schema in as generics in for the info thing, z.info, and then it will simply give me the type of that. So this thing is also done. Exclude, it's okay, it's working fine, 6 out of 7. And the last one is that when using Zod, we are done runtime validation. We have done runtime validations. We are doing runtime validations. For example, the following code: make sure that the user is sending the right inputs to update their profile information. That's right. Z minimum this much, something like that. So we can actually get the type of that. Success is equal to this, update body is equal to request.body, if not this, more details, something like this. Updated body, how to assign the type to updated body, we can assign the type of it to. More details on this particular thing, basic uses. Where is info? Inferring types. Okay, so what we are doing in here, that where is that? Yeah, we have created a schema for player, and of course it has username and XP, and then we are inferring the type of it. So if you have created a Zod schema, with the help of that Zod schema you can infer the types automatically. You don't need to create the types over and over. And doing this right now, we are done. We have got some of the important things written here. Okay, so types of nodes is done. Some important things: exclude type and Zod read only. 2 ways to assign values in a constructor. That's okay, I know that. 2 ways to add functions in interface. So this is the first way, and this is the second way. We even have 2 ways. And the last thing is that demystifying intersection and union types in TypeScript. It's like that. Well, not required right now. It's not like I have to. Overall, I have the knowledge, like okay, why the things are like that. But okay, in depth, I may be getting to know about it later. But for now, this is enough. I can. What can I do? Color, caption. This is still. This is yet to be gone through, something like that. So I have to just go through this particular thing. Anything else? Options, comments, suggested, it's a move, duplicate, blah 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 blah. turn into mentions. I don't really want to do that, by the way. So this TypeScript thing is done. We don't really need to worry about anything. There are few things inside this. Sprinting through the TypeScript 2 hours. This particular section is done, so we don't need to worry about it. Sprint through the Tailwind CSS. We still have to go through it. Rebuilding Brainly application. Okay, this needs to be rebuilt. Need to be done really quick, within a couple of days. And fronted of the project. This is how we have to go through the things. Tomorrow we will get it done. So on which date? What day is it, by the way? 11/11. So it's like 12/11. Not really. 11th month. Okay, never mind. So 12/11/25. So ultimately on 12th of November, that means tomorrow we'll be getting the rebuilding the Brainly project. It will be done tomorrow. It will take around 3 to 4 hours, and then we don't really have to worry about that. And there one more thing. Once we are done with this Tailwind CSS sprinting, I will be going through Turbo repo and Mono repo. So I have to get, it will take just 1 hour max to max, won't take much. So this is the overall plan that we have and we'll be following. For now, I'm gonna be simply turning the audio off. Like I will not be speaking, and I will simply be going through this Tailwind CSS section, and let's get this thing done in here.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
here's the thing. How much time do we have? We have around 1 hour. And today let's get the next.js section done properly. I did it and like the notes are there, so I have to go through them. So instead of keeping the title like the tailwind CSS, the title should rather be TypeScript and NextJS. We have done the TypeScript section, and it's time to simply go through the NextJS. Once we have gone through NextJS, then we will be building projects using NextJS, and we will be using TypeScript in that. So this is how the things are gonna be going on. So NextJS is gonna be a better option for now, and let's get some of the things ready using NextJS. It would be great. So something like that. And as for the NextJS, of course, I must be audible right now because I have turned my sound on. Yeah. So we will be starting it from the beginning, exactly how many things, and if there's something important, I will be noting that down. Otherwise, we'll simply be going ahead like this only. Okay. NextJS intro, and it actually starts from here on. We have upsides, downsides. Okay, they don't really matter. I can create the project, and that actually I have already created that, so don't really need to worry about that. Prerequisite: you need to understand the basic front end before proceeding to this track. You need to know what React is and how you can create a simple application in it. NextJS intro: NextJS was a framework that was introduced because of some minor inconveniences in React. Okay, in React project you have to maintain separate backend project for your API routes. That's right. React does not provide out-of-the-box routing. You have to use the React router DOM. That's true. React is not SEO optimized. Not exactly true today because of React server components. We'll discuss. Okay, waterfalling problem. These are the problems that we are facing in this particular section, and that is why NextJS was introduced. As simple as that. So this is just a simple code. I hope I am not running it yet. npm run dev, and it will start running. At least we'll get all the basic things done, and then we'll definitely create a project using NextJS, that is for sure. So this is the NextJS application. Okay, it's gonna take time, never mind, let's simply go ahead. Google Bing has bunch of crawlers that hit websites and figure out what the website does. It ranks it on Google based on the HTML it gets back. The crawlers don't usually run your JS and render your page to see the final output. That's right. While Google bot can run JavaScript, dynamically generated content is harder for the scrapers to index. That's okay. Try visiting a React website. What does the Google bot get back when they visit a website written React? So it simply gets, okay, the page that we get, there is simply an ID, and then we send a request for the JavaScript, and then we get the JavaScript, and then we send a request for the content. As simple as that. Google bot has no idea on what the project is. It only sees y plus react plus ts in the original HTML response. Of course, when the JS file loads, eventually things get rendered, but Google bot doesn't discover this content very well. Ultimately, Google bot can run, but don't usually run your JavaScript, and because of that thing, it doesn't know about the page. And of course, if it doesn't know about the page, it cannot rank your website. As simple as that. This particular word wasn't occurring. Okay, next one, let's say you build a website. Okay, these things are pretty simple. We first of all get index.html, then we send the request to get the script. When we get the script, then we send a request to get some data, and this is how this waterfalling problem occurs. Fetching the index.html from CDN, this thing is done. Let's simply go ahead. NextJS offerings. NextJS provides you the following upsides: server-side rendering, API routes, file-based routing, bundle size optimization, static site generation, and maintained by Vercel team. Okay, this is maintained by Vercel team. Static site generation means there are some files which don't change. Even if you just reload the page, the files don't change. Even if you restart the server, the files don't change. In that particular case, those files are saved in proper HTML format. If nothing changes, so they can be in proper HTML format, and that is called static site generation. Bundle size optimizations. Okay, file-based routing, that's pretty simple. You have to just create the routes using file-based format. API routes, okay, things are great. Downside, that's okay. Let's bootstrap a simple next step. Okay, this thing is done. Not really worried about that. Understanding routing in NextJS. This is how we have been doing it in React, and now it's all about NextJS. So we can create the pages. Final folder structure. We have created sign up page, page.tsx, and that's gonna be the sign up one, and then the sign in page. And this is how things are gonna be going on. So let's do it. I mean, simply create some of the routes and keep going on like this. So this is the app that we have in here, and if I actually visit /sign up right now, I will get 404, and it's time to create that. So I will be creating sign up directory. Inside that will be for sign up page. So page.tsx and RAFC. I can create this, but even better than this, it could be this. Export default function sign up return div and sign up, something like this. On the same way, I think this was mentioned. Yeah, so this is the page that we have created, and right now if I just simply reload the same URL, I'm getting this sign up page in here. That means it's working. And let's create the sign in. Yes, IGN sign in. We should create a website using this proper website. If we haven't created a website using NextJS, the simple thing is that learning is not enough. You will have to implement that. Only then you can be sure that you know that thing right now well. If you have just learned it once, you definitely don't know that. Okay. So until unless I actually create a project using NextJS, I can never be sure that I know NextJS. Export default function sign in return, gonna be returning a div, and that's gonna be sign in. Nope. Yes, IGN sign in page. Because of the cold, my hands are numb and I'm just simply unable to type properly. But never mind, we have created a sign in page, and it should let's open it in here. Localhost 3000, hello world, then /sign up page, and /sign in page. Okay, this is working as expected. So this thing is done. So ultimately routing thing is done, and routing for the front end pages, right? Not for the back end section. So this thing is done. Can you add a sign in route? Okay, this thing, prettify the sign in page. Let's make the sign in page better. Okay, I have code, so let's simply copy and paste the code and make it better. So what is that? Typescript has already been written there. This is the template that I've got, so I'm just simply copying and pasting the template in here. We have the sign in page, and we have an anchor tag. Let's see how many things we have in here. So labeled input, this is the interface that we are creating. Labeled input, this is mainly for the label. Okay, inside that we are getting two labels, we are getting a button. So this is the div. Inputs and button. So here we have these two things inside it. That's okay. And after that, above it I have this sign in title. Okay, so it's gonna be like title, as simple as that. Can be header, and this is the over like outer anchor tag. Why do I have anchor tag in here? And what exactly am I showing? This anchor tag has href hashtag. Let's exactly see how it looks like. Bad. How about this? Let's. Okay, so this whole ultimately card is wrapped inside an anchor tag, and because of that thing, whenever I just click particular on this card, it simply tries to send what can I say? it tries to send me to that particular page, but as the URL is just simply hashtag, so it doesn't send me anywhere. Just hashtag is just written on the top in the URL section, like here. Okay, interesting. If I just simply reload the page, there is no hashtag. If I just simply click on it, there is hashtag. That is just because of anchor tag that we are using in here, this particular section. But that's pretty interesting. So we have created the sign in page. I haven't created anything, it was just created by default. I just simply copied and pasted the things. In here, labeled input, I'm simply providing it the label, placeholder, and type. Okay, type is gonna be the type of that. Either that's gonna be text or the type I'm providing. Okay, the label that I'm providing, that's something like that. So we have label, we have input, and that's wrapped inside a div. Okay, and then we have the interface. These many things we are actually getting. Type is optional there because by default we are getting type text. And if I actually have a look, I'm providing label in place folder. Okay, that's pretty much good enough. Labeled input, interesting. Let's go next. Okay, server side rendering. Let's try exploring the response from the server on the sign up page route npm render because the sign up notice. The response you get back in your HTML is this. Now if Googlebot tries to scrape your page, it will understand that this is a sign up page without running any JavaScript. The first index.html file it gets back will have the context about the page since it was server side rendered. What is the thing is that I have created the sign up page in here. If I just simply inspect the page and go to the network, reload the page again, then I'm going to get this sign in page information. Okay, of course I'm not getting the, why am I not getting? Never mind. The most important thing is this in here, and if I just reload it once more, I should be getting it. We are getting the scripts. Then here we have this particular thing. If I just expand that, so we are getting the sign in, like the title we are getting. So if I just keep expanding, so this is the title that we have, and in this particular section we have the labels. So ultimately we are getting the data in one single request, and that is why the crawlers or Google bots, they'll be able to know about the type of the website and they'll be able to rank it better. That means it will be SEO optimized, as simple as that. Next, layouts. You will notice a file in your app called layout. Let's see. Okay, this is the layout file, metadata and all. It is providing assignment, adding a simple app bar, where app bar medium. Okay, so that's on the top. I can just simply provide a create a layout.tsx, and that would do the same thing. Layout in sub routes. What if you want all routes to that start with the sign in to have a banner that says login now to get 20% off. Okay, sign in, and this, let's create a layout. This is the sign in page that we have, and it will be like layout.tsx, and export. How about the layout thing? Export default function root layout. Export default function layout, something like this. Return, not like this. Give login now to get 20% off. Let's see. We are just getting layout. We need to have the children as well inside it. Children are gonna be here. The type of it is gonna be React node, and then we'll have children, and we'll just simply render them in here, right? What is the problem? Children does not, CHILDREN does not exist on type React node. Yeah, it should be like CHILDREN children, something like this. Okay, this is gonna be all right. And if I just have a look at that, so on the top I'm getting login now to get 20% off, and then we have the card, login card that we have. And apart from this particular thing, merging routes, I can create an auth and then that. So I can create an auth folder in here, and inside that I will keep the sign-in section. So this particular signing directly should be inside auth, and the sign up should be inside auth too. So ultimately that is the top level directly, and inside that directory we have the sign-in and sign up folders. But the thing is that I wanna make the layout common layout for sign in and sign up both. So I'm gonna be keeping the layout on the top, like in this particular section. So we have layout in here, but the thing is that this time whenever I just look for sign in and sign up page, like whenever I want to get that on the top of the screen, I wanna render them ultimately. So I'll have to write auth./sign-in. So auth is gonna be extra there. So we have auth/sign-in for the sign-in page, and we will have auth/sign-up for the sign-up page. Okay, so we are getting this particular thing. There's only one problem. This auth section got extra over here. Like we'll have to write auth in order to reach the sign-up page or sign-in page. So if we want to skip, we want to combine these things, we want to group these things, but we don't wanna have auth in our URL. For that particular thing, we can combine this auth in parentheses, something like this, and this time this auth will be ignored. I hope this is gonna be running really well. Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna take. Let's simply reload the page. Reload, yeah, window, yes. I haven't done that yet, that's bad. What I want to do, I just simply want to wrap this auth inside parentheses. Not working as expected. I'll simply have to close the application. Why is this not okay? It's crazy. Let's close the application right now. What else? For God's grace, get done. Okay, this is done, right? I just hope so. This is the auth file that we have. Inside that, this auth directory contains two directories ultimately, sign in and sign up, and inside that we have of course pages, and it also has the layout for both the pages. So it will be like this. So this layout will be for signing as well as the sign up pages. And if I actually run the project right now, npm run, so this time, as this auth name is wrapped with parentheses, that means it is ignored. So ultimately I can directly get the sign up page, I can directly get the sign in page. So if I just simply get the page using this URL, it will not work, because this time this auth is ignored. So if I remove it and then search for the page, then I should be getting the page. So here we are getting the sign up page. If we try to get the login page, ultimately sign in page, I should be getting that too. So this is what I'm getting. And the thing is that this time, though I have grouped both the sign in and sign up pages inside this auth directory, but that auth directory is ignored. That is just for the naming purpose, so that it looks better, and for grouping the things. And it does not mean that you will have to enter auth in your URL. This particular auth section will be ignored. So ultimately you will have to simply write a sign in and sign up directly. Oh, really bad at explaining the things, but never mind, good for me. So this thing is done. What is this now? What about the next thing? Components. Like you should put all your components in a components called directly to use them in app routes rather than showing everything in routers. Okay. That's insane. you should create a new folder called components. In the router, add a new component called signin.tsx, move the sign-in logic there, render the sign-in component. What does this mean? Components sign-in, that's okay. And what am I doing in here? I'm just simply getting that component. That's great. So in order to make it a little better, as simple as that, so ultimately it's gonna be, you should put all your components in components directly, use them in app routes rather than showing everything in the route handler. That's right. Components sign in. Can I do it like this? We have app, we can create components, something like this, and inside that component I'm gonna have signin.tsx, and I will copy paste all the code. So where is the sign-in page? This is the one. We don't really have anything in here. So f auth sign in, this is the page, this is the code, export default function sign in, and something like this, return div hello there. Of course that's gonna be the sign-in page. And what I'm gonna do in here, I have created this component, sign-in component. I will be pasting all the code in here, and this is gonna be the sign-in component that I have created. And once this thing is done, everything is in here, I can close this thing. The layout not needed for now. This is where I will be just importing that. So sign in, this is called less than, right? Less than, greater than. So yeah, less than, ultimately that is a bracket, not a bracket, that is not a bracket, that is less than. Okay, so sign in, I will be getting it from the route components. Sign in components, add period sign in components. Sign in import, exporting is by default, I think. Yeah, so sign in as sign in component, not like this, then this. Not working. Let's simply export it from here, that's it. Why am I getting this error in here? Module as component sign in has no exported member sign in. Did you mean import sign in from this instead? What is the difference between this and that? At the rate component sign in, at the rate component sign in, instead this. Come on, can I make it .tsx? Will it be fine? insane. Can I get it directly in here? Will it be problematic? And simply mentioning it in here. Has no exported member signing. Is that so? Let's see. Yeah. So this is the sign component. I want to make it default, something like this, and it will not be default. It will be imported like this, and I've made some of the changes. Like this home page should not be like this. This should be default. And apart from this particular thing, I'm exporting sign-in, importing sign-in from there. What is the problem? Import declaration conflicts with local declaration of sign-in. Yeah, that's right, I know that. So I can make it like sign-in component. It doesn't work this way, so I will be just simply calling it as sign-in component, and it's gonna be like this. So this is how it's working right now. If I just simply enter the sign-in page URL and reload the page, it looks the same. That means this thing is done, and what is remaining? I have created this in here. I can export it by default too, doing something like this. If it is exported by default, I can name it like this directly, so I won't even have to do anything, right? And that means if I reload the page, it should still look the same. And this is gonna be the sign up one. Yeah, so this particular thing is done. We have created this. Add a button on click. Now try adding a on click handler to the button on the sign in page. On the sign in page, okay. I will get this. That means I will have to use the use client. What do you think this is happening? The client and server components. NextJS expects you to identify all your components as either client or server. As the name suggests, the server components are rendered on the server. Client components are pre-rendered and are pushed to the client to be re-rendered again. By default, all components are server components. If you want to mark a component as client component, you need to add the following to the top of the component like this. Whenever you should create this client component, whenever you get an error that tells you that you need to create a client component, whenever you are using something that server doesn't understand, use effect, use state, on click, etc. Rule of thumb is to defer the client as much as possible. Ultimately, that should be at the end of the day used. Try updating this to make a client component. You will notice the error coach. Okay, the first thing is that we have this on click. Handle button click. Const handle button click. This is how we'll be going ahead, and we'll be doing nothing for now. CLG Okay, so event handlers cannot pass to the client components. If you need to need interactivity, consider converting part of this to a client component. Let's do that too. and this is done. So this first section is done right now. Okay, this takes tons of energy. Time to go ahead. Okay, next I merely have to make sure I am done with NextJS properly. Don't really have time for the things to keep going on like this. NextJS is done. Like the first part is done. Let's go ahead. Web dev. The second part of the NextJS, we have many things since I did. Server side rendering, so it's like I have done it once. This is not the first time that I'm doing. Waterfall problem. Server side rendering, client side rendering, some key points. Okay. So we have created a user. Inside that we have page and login, loading and page. That's okay. It is mainly for authentication. Which file is open? route.ts. That is the route.ts file in there. This is how we send the responses. Okay. Gotta create a proper project. I can create a front, like back end, I can create front end, both. This is insane. Okay. Some key points, it looks like this. Apart from this particular thing, we have this particular thing in here. We can just simply get the data and then render the data. Page.ts, it looks like this. We have link and we have router.push, that means use router. Why do we use NextJS? Okay. What am I saying? I'll have to make a project using NextJS anyhow if I actually want to get better at it. Otherwise it's never gonna be going the way I want it to go. So first of all, to do application I created many times, by the way. Sprint to the Tailwind CSS. Before that, this NextJS thing and rebuilding it. Create an app using NextJS. Front end plus. Things are getting too much. Slowly they are increasing. Okay. So tomorrow's task is gonna be this. First of all, creating an application using this, and meanwhile sprinting through the Tailwind. And even I have to get this memory, but I've already got a lot to do. This NextJS project will be done today itself. I will make it. Let's simply take a break for some time. Kind of. How many things do I still have to cover? Just a sec. This thing is here, not these ones I'm looking for. Web3, web dev. Okay, so guess what are we using in here?
This is odd.
This is audible. Let me turn it off. By the way, let me turn it off for now. This is how things are gonna be going on. Things are gonna be missing. Ultimately, I have really a lot of things to get done at once. Creating an app using NextJS, that would be Excel Hydro app. Excel Hydro, they're gonna be front end, back end both. So this thing is done. Sprint through Tailwind. This is not required right now. I am going to skip it. I already know Tailwind enough. Okay. For now, it's better to simply skip this particular thing because it will take around 4 to 5 hours. That is for sure. And this turbo repo, mono repo, that's okay. I have to just simply revise this particular thing. Rebuilding Brainly, it will take 4 hours at least. And I need to get it done as soon as possible. And then front end of Brainly. Quite a lot. Tailwind CSS. What is the duration of it? Is this even like, is this that much required? It's not like I have to get it done right now itself. So this can be done later whenever I have some extra time. I will be getting this particular section done. As for the turbo repo and mono repo, I have to revise this. I have to revise Next.js. Once both the things are revised, I'll have to work on this Excel IDO project, and meanwhile I will be working on this Brainly one. So this is the overall thing that's gonna be done. I'm even nowhere close to DevOps section. I wanted to start it, but the thing is that before even starting DevOps section, I need to make sure all the things related to the full stack, they are done. Okay, let's keep revising the Next.js. There's no way. So this thing is done. Next.js server side. So far we have been working on the client side. Let's talk about the server side. Backend in Next.js, and it's gonna be like this: front end and backend. Single code base. Okay, got that. It provides with this functionality. Recap of data fetching. Let's do a quick recap of how data fetching works in React. We are not building a backend yet. Assume you already have the backend this time. Okay, so we are getting this thing. We can even build the backend. User code component. This is how we've been getting the things done in React. Yeah, data fetching happens on the client side. That is right when it comes to React, but on the data fetching in Next.js, it happens on the server side. You should fetch the data user details on the server side and pre-render the page before returning it to the user. Okay, we are using XCS. We are getting the data. Once we got the data, then we are rendering it, pre-rendering it on the server side, and then sending it to the client. apart from that particular thing, this Excel I draw is here, and the next one part 3 part. Oh my god, this is gonna be too big, and then DevOps starts from here on. VMs. Well, in further coming classes, the projects are gonna be big. Creating Excel Hydra. Data fetching, we have to fetch the data, but the thing is that okay, we can fetch the to-do data. This is gonna work, right? That's okay. npx create next step, that's done. Npx install ASHUTOSH. Let's keep doing it. Don't really have any another way, right? Kind of ls, and this is the package.json that we have. We have next reactor, npm install ASHUTOSH. 11:41. Okay. ASHUTOSH is done. Page.tsx global in the root page, write a function to fetch the details. We can directly get the details, and then we are simply showing. Check the network tab, make sure there is no water falling. Okay. Prettify the UI. Good question to ask at this point. Where is the loader? Do we need a loader? Okay. Get user / user. The home page is this. Const to do is equal to what is that? JSON placeholder. Okay, here we are. We'll be getting to-dos from here. We'll be getting 200 to-dos. That is interesting. How about getting just single one to-do? Yeah, it's also possible. So we'll be using this one. That's gonna be a post request. To-dos. Await. We'll have to make it a single function. Await. ASHUTOSH imported dot post. We'll be giving the URL. This is going to be the URL, and done. And before giving it the URL, let's make it something like this. Then I will get the to-dos. What will this to-do contain? But the value is never read. To-do.data, right? So this is actually gonna be response. So I got the response. Const to-do is equal to response.data. I got, and once I got this particular thing, what all am I getting there? Let's check this particular thing too. User ID, title completed. Okay, these my things. To do. JSON not like this. JSON.stringify, and I will be just giving it to do. As simple as that. I don't really have to make it quite fancy. Just wanted to check the result, what kind of result I get, and that's it. npm run. Just the home page. Okay, request failed with 404. Await. What is the problem? Await is the problem. Runtime ASHUTOSH server. I should be able to use await in server. Yeah. server side AXIS await async What is the problem? I don't know. The thing is here. Bad request. AXIS, is that a GET request? Should it be fine right now? Wow, it is. Okay, these are things. User ID 1, title. This really bad way to get render the things on UI, but it's enough for now. I can remove this particular thing from here, the styling thing, and then this should be even better, I think. If not, yeah, better for now. User ID, we have ID user ID 1, ID 1, title. Really, is this like this? User ID, title, completed, something like this. Yeah. So this is how we just get the data. This is actually pre-rendering on the server side, and this particular code, HTML code, is sent to the client. Loaders in NextJS. I can create a loader file. Wow. What if the user get details call takes 5 seconds to finish? Let's say, okay, then what will happen? 5 seconds. Loading.tsx. I need to create a file just like page.tsx, a layout, and you can create a skeleton.tsx file that will create a loading.tsx in the root folder. What does this mean? Let's give it a try. I have this app. I am going to create a loading.tsx export default function loading and some code to make it better, like make it look good. Flex column, okay, flex justify center, column justify center, like in here, hide screen, okay, and the flex justify center loading, it will be center, so in the middle of the screen I will be getting it. That's interesting. Wow, we are getting this loading in the middle of the screen. This works. Okay, this is the benefit of using NextJS. So ultimately, how many things we have covered? Let's keep them in mind too. So we have got the routing thing done. We have grouped them. We have provided the layout. We have created pages. We have added a layout and a loading. As simple as that. Okay, what next? NextJS lets you write backend routes just like Express does. This is why NextJS is considered to be a full stack framework. The benefit of using NextJS for the backend includes code or standard things you get in the backend frameworks like Express server components. Keeping the thing simple, what we have done. First of all, NextJS application, of course. NextJS app we have created. Once this thing is done, we have created pages. Once we have created pages, we have created layouts. We have even grouped the pages. We have grouped the pages, and then we have created a loading. These many things we are done with. So we can create the NextJS app. We can create the pages easily. We can create the layouts for those pages. We can group the pages using parentheses. Using this. Okay, we can create the layouts. First of all, we need to group the pages and then we can create the layouts. That's right too. So this thing should come here, then layouts, layouts can be created using layout.tsx. Pages can be created inside a particular folder, that could be like using page.tsx, of course. And the loading can be created using loading.tsx, as simple as that. tsx. This is pretty much simple. These many things that we have done, and now let's go ahead. In this particular file, these are the only things that's been done right now, and nothing else. And so far better, at least, and we'll get the things done again. Okay, server components can directly talk to the backend. That is right. All standard things you get in a backend framework like Express, code in single repo. That is the benefit of using Typescript. Let's move the backend into an app. We want to introduce a route that returns hard-coded values for a user's details. Introducing a new folder called API. Add a folder inside called user. Add a file called route.tsx, and then initialize this particular thing. Okay, pretty much interesting thing. This was all about front-end thing that we have been working on so far, though the code is gonna be running on the server side, but ultimately we'll get the response on the front end, and it's time to start working on the backend part. So it would be like API slash user slash route.ts. I hope so. And then in here I can just simply create it. So export async. Of course I'll have to create a function to export async function, that would be get route for now. Yeah, then I have to return response. That can either be response or that can be next response. Response dot JSON username. This is gonna be username, email @gmail.com. Who cares what kind of data you send? So this is something that's done, and then I'll be getting it from the user itself and try replacing the API. And then this is how, this isn't the best way to fetch the data from the backend. We'll make this better, okay? But for now we can get this thing done. Here we were getting this thing from the to do, like we were getting to do's, and this time I will be getting the data from my own backend. So it could be like http://localhost 3000/ what is the URL? API/user. That's it. This much should be enough. And then I will be getting the user data, that of course I'm sending from the backend, that to my own backend. That's a good thing. And this is how it's gonna be going on. Runtime aggregate error. $3,000. So this is the data. This is the data that we are getting from the backend side. Done. Front end for signing up. Okay, a simple page sign up at the red component sign up. Sign up is here. Okay, can we do it like this? Just a sec. Is this even possible to do it? We have this sign up section in here. Actually sign in. And if I don't provide this name in here, then I'll get an error. I'll anyhow have to provide it. Create component sign up TSX. Okay, that is all about sign up. Create components sign up.tsx. Let's do it too. and this is the code for the sign up page. We are getting the Axios change event handler, use event. Well, for now I think that should be enough. I'll continue from here on. It's been 1 hour and 20 minutes or something. The thing is simple. This is the way that's gonna be right now, like this. I'll have to revise Next.js, then I will have to build this, and I'll have to revise this. So moreover gonna be something like this. Okay, so I'm revising Next.js, then I have to go through the turbo repo and mono repo section, like that. I have learnt about that once, but I have to revise that. Once this particular thing is done, then this and this both will start. By the way, this particular thing, rebuilding Brainly, that will happen tomorrow. That means tomorrow's first task is going to be only this, and today I can get these things done. So this is how things are gonna be going ahead. After maybe 10 minutes break or 20 minutes break, I'll be back, and then I'll continue the things again from here on. Okay, then thank you very much for being here with me. I'll be catching up soon. Take care.